Good evening.
Good evening.
All weekend, I kept asking myself, what can you do? And one of my jobs on the council is to come up with solutions. And so I came up with a couple of them. If you don't mind, we're going to walk through those. Number one, 10% reduction. It's called CALEA. It's the Commission of Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies. Now, this is the gold standard, the best practices of the best police agencies in this country. Chief Kushner is in his second year of assessment, and he's aligning Charlestown standards with national standards. We go up for accreditation early 2018. If you want to do something, make sure that we, as the council and the mayor, you expect us to make sure that the chief gets the additional resources, anything he needs, so that we become CALEA certified. Failure is not an option here. Okay? Next 10%. Body cameras. All our police vehicles in Charlestown already have in-car audio and video systems, but the Department of Justice is evaluating the City of Charlestown's grant request for body cameras. I believe they're evaluating Ransom's application also. The technology, the privacy policies, the training are not simple, they're not cheap, they require a long-term commitment. It's not without cost. If you want to do something, make sure the town of Charlestown, the city of Charlestown, the city of Ransom, and other law enforcement agencies in the county do body cameras. Another 10% reduction, reading is fundamental. Here it is. This is a paper that was published in 1982. Many of you have heard of it. It's called Broken Windows. Its premise is simple. During severe crime waves, police should criminalize petty offenses, which in turn lead to a reduction in the more serious offenses. Well, what has happened 34 years onward? There is no longer a great wave of crime, so governments tend to reduce or severely cut their police budgets. This leads to police departments trying to justify oftentimes their existence, their current existence, by keeping their stats up. And this is where they oftentimes go for petty offenses. Now, this increases the number of negative interactions between citizens and police. It's that simple. Charlestown issues a monthly data report on all its crime statistics. It is in a very easily understandable format. If you want to do something, monitor this data for spikes between small and petty crimes and serious crimes. That tends to be an indicator that the police department needs to focus more on serious crimes and less on smaller petty crimes that create negative interaction, oftentimes more negative interactions with the community. We can get a 20% reduction by fighting hard and demanding that police department officers are paid respectable salary. They're fully equipped, responsibly led, never fearful of their job security if they're doing a correct job. More importantly, they are correctly disciplined. And honestly, if they're not doing a good job, they're easy to fire. That's very important. A police officer working a second job, lacking sleep, worrying about bills, not feeling respected by the community, wondering if the city is going to cut him or her when revenues fall, or not having the right tools or adequate equipment, being poorly led, with a poor attitude, being poorly disciplined, is simply an accident waiting to happen. You want to do something, make sure that police departments, wherever they are well resourced and their officers are well paid. Another 10% reduction we can get by expressing our values. This is a peace vigil. It is not a protest that speaks to the values of this community. The city just passed a non-discrimination ordinance. This speaks to the value of inclusion. Important because why is it important? Because it transmits your values down to your employees on how you expect them to treat all the people in the city. We're spending a lot of time and resources to clean up contaminated Superfund sites and turn them into recreational oases for children, not adults, children. Within our non-discrimination ordinance, we also added a conciliation committee so that we can near instantaneously create a community or committee of leaders for events such as these if things go horribly wrong. If you want to do something, urge us on, help us, become involved in this. The next thing, jobs and careers, very important. You have, give me 2 minutes, 1 minute. Jobs, careers are very important, and career job creation is very important. The other thing is that we as a community need to help oftentimes ourselves. Police departments cannot raise or educate our children. That's the primary purpose. Their primary purpose is to protect the communities from outside threats. They should not accept on a rare occasion to be protecting the community from inside threats, and that's what real communities do. Now we have prescription opiate and heroin abuse has actually begun to decrease the lifespans of major portions of working class folks in rural communities throughout this state. And the crimes within statistics communities destroy the social fabric of many urban communities. I saw this firsthand living in Washington, D.C. for 25 years before I moved back to Charlestown here. Let us acknowledge these ills and fix them, thus minimizing the number and the severity of negative interactions between the police and the community. Thank you.